Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. Will from Radio Flight. Um, Progress has been slow. I um, I got the right inboard panel, um, about 90% framed up. There's the I-beam. It's built by the shear webs inside, or I'm sorry, there's a piece of white ply on this side, and then the brass tubing will slide in there, in this whole pocket. This whole pocket gets filled with epoxy and micro balloons. And then I just started doing the left inboard panel. It's all dry fit. You can see that I'm uh, getting all the shear webs, which create an I-beam, very strong. So, and then some of this may be redundant, but this right here, you have to make sure that the top of the shear web is perfectly level with that notch, so it doesn't push the top spruce spar up. Um, It'll make for joints that aren't tight, and it'll also show up and really be magnified in your covering job. So that's all dry fit. Here's the 16th inch um, sheeting at the center section on the right panel. Front ribs. These ribs are actually full ribs. They're full length ribs. And you cut them and you fit the two front ones. They're slightly smaller than all the other ribs. To accommodate for the 16th inch balsa sheet. Notice the grain is going left to right. I mentioned that in the last video. And also to accommodate for the 16th inch sheet that'll go on the top, front to back, the entire center section. So you can see that I've got some work here to do. That's all due to the wing joiner and the metal rod. I'll bring you out to the messy end of my bench. That's the right panel. And then, so we go from there. Here's the right tip. And you can see this thing just keeps going and going. So it's a 99-inch span. So we're missing the tip all the way down on that end. So that'll be about another 18 inches. See if I can get the whole. She's big. And then on the wingtips, I haven't really decided on the wingtips what I'm going to do. There is a carved block. Some of you are probably familiar with the block. It's a serious chunk of wood. And so that block of wood gets glued onto the end. All this gets carved out. And then you end up with a swept up, comes all the way back in a swept up outer rear trailing edge. And I think what I might do, and Paul, my buddy Paul, on his, come on, Paul, help me out. His albatross, I think it's a 3 meter. It's got sheeting that comes out here that would be glued to the center line of this rib from the trailing edge to the root. And then it's got like 16th inch, maybe 8th inch triangle stock that comes down 1, 2, 3 to support it. And that would also allow me to bring this to probably 102-inch span, which isn't a priority, but it would be cool to be able to say it's 102 inches. I know some people would say, come on, it's an Olympic 2, it's classic, you got to go with the carved wingtips. I may or may not, but we'll see. Um, this is one of two Olympics that I'm building, and one will be pure res, and the other one will be full house. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sorry, not full. The other one won't be full house. Um, one will be res, and the other one will be um, an electric glider res. This one will be pure, no power system. So, but anyways, that's it. I'll keep you posted. I can't think of anything that really needs to be pointed out. Instructions are vague. If you're used to building like a Great Plains kit or a SIG kit where they have tons and tons of pictures and lots of real clear, concise directions. They actually were real game changers when they came out. The Great Plains manuals are just stellar. Um, Absolutely. I mean, with the exception of maybe one or two um, things that I've stumbled across in probably half a dozen kits, maybe 8 or 9 kits on the Great Plains instructions and the plans. Everything's really clear. So this takes a little bit more. This is probably not your first kit, but if you're mechanically inclined and you like building models and you're good at thinking things through, and I don't recommend any modifications to this kit. Um, I will show you one thing that I want to do. Okay, now keep in mind that this is the left inboard panel, and they want you to glue in these gussets at the poly brake. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these gussets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 22 gussets, 11 along the trailing edge, 11 along the leading edge. It adds a lot of rigidity and a minimal amount of weight. And I think it's, in my experience, it's well worth it. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'll probably add full shear webs. You can see that that's I-beam. Show you on that one. I may add in about the first 3 or 4 bays here. We pull back these 3 or 4 bays. Add full shear webs on the face of the spars, the front and the rear of the spars for extra rigidity on the inboard panel. And then right here, I'm going to slot this. Let's see, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my spoiler will go from here to here. That's right. That's where the blade will go. So I'm going to try not to get lazy. I'm going to add the spoilers, and I'll show you how that's all going to work too. So that's it. Thanks for checking it out. This is the Airtronics Olympic 2 99-inch span classic sailplane glider, and I'll keep you posted once I get everything to the point where I'm going to sand and glue the dihedral. I'll show you how I do the reinforcing brass and the steel rod, how I do the dihedral, sand the dihedral brake and the poly brakes. I'll try to give you a video on that too, just to show you the way that I do it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Happy landings.